Okay, so actually today, right, I want to do the question on page 61 of your lecture notes, okay? So page 61 is actually the sample question, and I want to do question 3A. So this is not in your tutorial. It's not in the one of the questions prescribed by the tutorial. But in the tutorial, right, if you look at page 66, this is the question D. This tutorial question draws upon the content that I want to cover on page 61. So put it very simply, if you know how to do this, then the answer for page 66 will be just refer to page 61 essay question 3A. So my suggestion is, why don't we run through why don't we run through essay question 3A, because anyway it's a Cambridge question. So let's cover that, and then can you just write this on page 66 of your notes? Tell yourself to refer to this for the proper elaboration. Okay, that's what I did for all my classes anyway. Okay, if not, just to recap, so today we are doing page 61, essay question 3A of the sample questions. Again, it's not inside the tutorial, but the question in the tutorial is on page 66. Okay, then you just tell yourself to refer to this. Okay, so let's just do a quick recap first, okay? So I told you that book 11, right, actually the first big facet you will learn is trade, the second big facet you will learn is protectionism, and then the third big facet you learn is globalization. Right. So now we are still at trade. Okay, we're still at trade. And then I mentioned to you, we spoke about the theory of CA already. We spoke about the circles and squares. Okay, and how the theory of CA would increase consumption levels. If I'm not wrong, we were at a question that talked about benefits and cost of trade. So I don't want to do this during a makeup lesson. So I'll come back to class and then I'll finish up that particular question. Okay. So today I want to do this part of the book 11, and that's the determinants of CA. Okay, so today we're doing determinants of CA, yeah, and the questions that are relevant to determinants of CA are page 66 and page 61. Okay, if not, then let's begin with page 61. So page 61 says they ask you to explain why an economy's comparative advantage might change over time. So again, this is determinants of CA. Okay, why an economy's comparative advantage will change over time is because there are things that determine CA. Okay, so this is a 10 mark question, so nothing new here. 10 is 10 plus 0, so there are two requirements. Yeah, so requirement 1 will be to just explain one factor, explain one reason why comparative advantage might change, and then requirement 2 will be to explain another reason why comparative advantage might change. Okay, so let's talk about this. Okay, so when we want to answer this question, actually we're going to begin with an event. Okay, and the event that changes the comparative advantage must touch base with either factor endowment, either the and or, yeah, and or. If you can link to both, link to both. If you cannot, then it's okay, just link to one. So you make sure you link to factor endowment and opportunity cost, because these two things are what changes the country's comparative advantage. Okay, so we're going to follow this red color structure over here. Yeah. Okay, so let's start with the first one. Requirement 1, I'm going to say it's government policies. Okay, so we're going to start with government policies. I'm going to say that, okay, a country's CA can change due to government policies. Okay, so the example of the government policies I'm going to give is R&D subsidies for R&D. Okay, then there's one that you know. So the example I'm going to give is the Singapore government's, for example, the Singapore government's research innovation enterprise 2025 plan. Research Innovation Enterprise 20 or RIE 2025 plan. Let's elaborate on the plan. So the plan aims to provide up to 25 billion in R&D subsidies till the year 2025. Because this is a CA question, so maybe you can just give an example of some of the areas that we are investing in. Doesn't have to be like totally factually correct, but doesn't have to be total. You don't have to give too much details, okay? But you should try and give examples that are sort of believable for Singapore's case. So maybe you can say that we can invest in emerging sectors. Emerging sectors, and then you can give what these sectors are. So one of them being maybe biomedical products. So after COVID-19, actually our government did go on this aggressive courting period where we try to court many of the vaccine makers into Singapore to make their vaccines here. Yeah, those will really help to create very good jobs. Biomedical products are one, so maybe robotics is another. Okay, and maybe this is quite big in Singapore. So we're trying to really get a push for sustainable technology. Okay, so this is the description of the event. Okay, then the next thing will be you want to make sure you link to factor endowment and opportunity cost. So then you say that with advanced technology and a skilled labor force. So the subsidies are not only for firms to want to relocate here, right, but they also have subsidies for higher education, right, for people to pursue their PhDs and their master degrees. Yeah, so two things happen. One is that we're going to try to link the factor endowment first. So we can say that it encourages fixed capital formation by firms in these sectors. So it increases the amount of capital that Singapore has, and by virtue of that, it will change the composition of our factor endowments. We put factor endowments in red because it's a very important word. Okay, just make sure you use this word. Okay, so this is one. The other one is that also if you invest in advanced technology and skilled labor force in these particular sectors, then you're likely to see productivity increases in these sectors. Yeah. And so then what happens is if productivity rises faster than the increase in cost, then you're supposed to have a decrease in unit cost of production. But here we want to make sure we link to opportunity cost, so we change the phrasing a little bit. Yeah, so we say country is now able to produce more goods and services in these sectors. Are using the same resource cost. So maybe the man last time couldn't produce these kind of goods, but now because he's skilled, he can. Yeah, because using the same resource cost, and so then this decreases the opportunity cost. Okay, maybe this should be in red because I mentioned this is very important. So then this decreases the opportunity cost of production. In this capital intensive or knowledge based industries / knowledge based industries. This should be I just need opportunity cost to be in red. Can I change the color for this? Okay, so they'll decrease the opportunity cost of production in capital intensive and knowledge based industries. So over time, okay, then let's put it in black. Oops. So then, if the opportunity cost decreases such that it is lower than our trading partners, TP's trading partners, and the country, or in this case SG, gains a new comparative advantage. This is how we can change our countries. One reason how we can change our country's comparative advantage.